Hi everyone, I just wanted to come on here today and recap on a dream that I had um, not too long ago. On December 4th, I had the dream and I posted it. And the dream is about the CV shot and the CV vac shot. And I'm just gonna, if you want to hear the whole dream, go uh, to my YouTube page and you'll find it on there, or actually I will link it on the end of this video as well. So but I'm just gonna recap it a little bit and I'm just gonna get it right into it so that I don't make this video too long. So my dream was that I was in a room with it was like a pediatrics room, like when you go to the pediatrics and you'll see these little beds that babies lay on. It was like that, but there were like four beds and there were like four nurses behind each bed. And in my dream, I had a baby, but I don't in reality have a baby. All my children are grown. But in my dream, I had a baby, and my baby was on one of the beds, and I was like standing in front of the bed that my baby was on, and the nurse was trying to give my baby a shot. Now, the nurse, they all had on their white uniforms on and the dresses. It was dresses like old school, and white caps like old school. And I was standing in front of the one where my baby was on, and she was trying to give my baby a shot, and I'm like, "Is that the CV shot? Is that the CV shot?" And she just looked at me and she wouldn't answer me, and she just yeah, she just looked at me. She would not answer, and all of a sudden, right then, I saw the color of it in the vial, and it was yellow. It was a deep yellow color. And then I got a whiff of it, a really strong smell of it. And the smell was so powerful, and I never smelt in my dream before. Like, never in my life have I ever smelled anything in my dream. But this was so overwhelming, and it just consumed my nose in my dream, and it was so foul, and I have never smelled anything like that smell on earth in my life. And I can't even describe um the smell, but if I have to describe the smell, it is it was putrid, it was foul, it was chemical, it was evil, it was just horrendous. It was a horrendous smell. It was toxic, and I knew that it was bad and evil and wicked and poisonous. Okay? And she started to give it to my baby, and I said, "Don't give that to my baby. Don't give that to my baby. No, no, no." And I woke up, but I knew then that Jesus was telling me that this is very bad and do not get it. So I was like, so then I researched it more. I researched the color, that deep yellow color, and I found that now there's like in the book of Revelation, I did a video on that. There were two beasts in the book of Revelation, and there's the one world government beast and the one world religious beast, and the one world government comes first, and then the one world religion rises up after that. Okay, I'm kind of getting like, every time I do a video and do what Jesus tells me, I get more clarity and I get like more revelation, and I'm starting to get something more, but I don't want to say it to you yet. But I do know that the yellow is the Vatican flag. If you look at the Vatican flag, it's that yellow. It's half of it is yellow. That is the same color that I saw in the vial, the same color as the Vacc liquid. Okay. Um, which is very significant. There's a reason he showed me that. There's a reason he made it yellow, because in reality, of course, it's not going to be yellow. It's probably clear, but in my dream, it was yellow because it was showing me the origins of this stuff. Okay. So if you read in the Vatican is Babylon the Great, in Revelation 17 and 18. That's the Roman Catholic Church. And it says that she's the mother of the harlots. And the harlots are like an offshoots of that church, which is basically all the other churches that are standing, the false religious churches. They all are a spinoff of that. Like the Protestant church and even the Baptist church. I mean, they all are. And so, all right. And they work together. The beasts work together because the Revelation chapter 13 says that the second beast that rises up, which is the one world religion, gets an image, and it makes the first beast, makes everybody worship the first beast, which is the one world government. So this one world religion is going to make you worship the one world government. Okay, says it in Revelation. Read it. Revelation chapter 13 and read Revelation chapter 14. I'm not making this up. It's in the Bible. Okay, so they work together, they collab. Okay, so I know that this religion has a lot to do. The Vatican has a lot to do with this Vacc. They're very involved. Even if you can't see it on the surface, I'm telling you, they have something to do with it as well. Okay? All right. So 3 days after that, December 7th, I have another dream. And this dream now is I'm in a restroom. It's a public restroom, and my cousin is in there, who is a male, but he's in there, and I'm in a public restroom, and we're just standing there, and I'm putting my hands. I put my hands in the trash for some reason, and I stumbled upon like a bloody rag, and I touched this bloody rag. And I looked at my hands, and they had blood all over them. Both of my hands had blood all over them. And then I looked at my cousin, and I said, this is not mine. This is not my blood. It's not mine. And then I woke up. Okay, so right away in my spirit, I knew that Jesus was telling me that if I don't tell about the first dream that he gave me about this Vacc shot and the dangers, and he says not to take it, if I don't warn people, then their blood is on my hands. And I felt like even more so it was a female that I had to warn. It was females. So I didn't know exactly who. So I'm telling everybody, and I'm warning everybody. I'm telling you now as well, because I don't want your blood on my hands. I don't want you to get this vaccine. Jesus doesn't want you to get this. It's not what I want. Jesus doesn't want you to get this vaccine. Okay, so every contact in my phone, I sent them my video. People who couldn't get the video, I called them. I called my auntie because she's 99, and her son was in my dream. And I felt like it was a female that I needed to warn as well. So I called her up, and I was talking to my auntie. She's going to be 99. And she brought up the pandemic stuff. And she's like, oh, isn't this awful, this stuff? And so I'm like, that opened the door for me to go ahead and tell her about my dream. So she is aware, and she has been warned. And I point blank told her, auntie, please do not get this. It's like really bad. It really is bad. Okay, so 3 days after that dream, December 10th, I opened a letter in my house, right? There's a letter here in my house that wasn't open, that came out of the mailbox. So I opened it up, and I'm going to read it to you. Now I'm going to read some of it to you. It says, take part in the, and I'm not going to say the word out. I'm just going to abbreviate because I don't want my video flagged. I don't want it taken down because this message has to be heard. So, take part in the CVVAC trials, um, offering up to $740, enrolling now in my area. And then it says, join the fight against CV. Sign up now to reserve an appointment. And then it says, Dear Alice, it says my name, like the letter is directly to me. It's not random. It's to me. It says, Dear Alice, the VAC studies are now enrolling in your area. If you are 18 years of age or older, you have not tested positive for this, you may be eligible to participate. Those who qualify may receive payment up to $740, no cost study related care, potential VAC at no cost. And it says, to see if you may qualify, call or email. And it gives you the address and the phone number. And it says the health of all VAC study participants will be carefully monitored by the study doctor. Health insurance is not required. Enrollment is limited, so please respond now. Sincerely. Okay. Of course, no, I'm not going to do this. Of course, I'm not. But see, they're putting a price on your life. They're like, so if I went ahead and did this, I would I would definitely be selling my soul for $740. Because if I did this and I would be like, okay, here you go, give me money. I just sold my soul because my DNA will be changed. I no longer belong to Jesus and I belong to Satan. Okay? That is exactly what would happen if I went ahead and did this, okay? So no, you cannot get this. But 3 days later, that was 3 days later. So the number 3 is very significant in the Bible. So Jesus was showing me like boom, 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 three things in a row, 3 days apart from each other that really like solidified and hit home and said, Alice, this is what this is about. You know, it was solidified for me, and this is very, very urgent. So the number 3 biblically represents divine wholeness, completeness, and perfection, divine stamp of completion or fulfillment on a subject. Okay, so that means it's solidified, like the dream, the way it smelled, it's poison, it's bad, it's the Vatican has something to do with it. Yeah, it's all solidified in that number 3. Okay, so December 14th now. My son sent me a video on Rachel Seller. I'm looking down because I'm reading. I have notes on all of this and I'm reading it to you. So that's why I'm looking down. I'm sorry. So just bear with me if I look away. My son sent me a video on Rachel Seller, who is a forensic nurse. And she has a website and she has videos on her website. So I researched her more and I went on her website and I learned from her videos about MRC5 cell line, and she quit being a nurse and she's an advocate for telling the truth about this stuff. And she's a Christian as well. Learned about MRC5 cell line, which are aborted male fetuses, the lung tissues, which was from the 1960s. And I also learned about WI38, which is the female fetus, aborted fetus, also from the 60s. And then December 17th, and she says that they use these for vaccines. They use this for they put these tissues in vaccines. Okay, she said that. All right. So December 17th, my son sent me an image of the label on the VAC, because this is now in hospitals. This has been rolled out. It's in hospitals. People are getting this right now. It's being distributed. Um, and then on there it says the solution for injection, which had been posted on the internet. This was posted on the internet. I think it was on Facebook, actually. And it says one of the solutions is CHADOX1-S. And in parentheses, it says recombinant. And when you look that up, you research that more. It's a DNA molecules formed by laboratory methods such as molecular cloning. Okay? So I send this to my sister Debbie. And I sent it to my sister, and she told me that I was blind, and she called me a conspiracy theorist. And so, like, is Jesus a conspiracy theorist? Because I clearly said that I got it. He told me in the dream. Forget about all of this. Forget about the paper I send people. Forget about, what you see on the internet. Forget about all that. I can forget all of that. I don't have to go by that because I got it personal. I got it personally from Jesus himself. I wasn't looking up conspiracy theories, and I wasn't looking up any of that stuff. I got this in a dream from Jesus himself, who told me, he showed me that this is bad and do not put it in your body. I didn't need a conspiracy theorist, anybody else to tell me that. Jesus told me himself, and he definitely is not a conspiracy theorist, okay? He is the truth, the life, and the way. And that's where I got it from, ultimately. Okay? So, I get back from her to disprove Jesus, basically. Reuters, Reuters, fact check. Lung tissue of an aborted male fetus is not in the VAC for CV. Okay, so if you read on, this is a website, you can go there yourself. And if you read on, it's like saying it's not in there, it's a lie, blah, 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 right? So the very thing but if you keep on reading, okay, if you keep on reading, it says the CHAD0X1 in CV is weakened and non-replicating version of the common cold virus taken from chimpanzees, which has been engineered to contain instructions for creating the spike protein of SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes CV-19. And an article published in the journal Nature says the VAC, and then it says that CH number again, used T-Rex 293 hex cells in the virus propagation stage. This refers to, and then they tell you, this refers to human embryonic kidney cells. They say no, but then they say, yeah, it refers to human embryonic kidney cells, which are from a different human cell line. Oh, okay. It's a human cell line nonetheless, right? Okay. So, oh, my bad. Okay. And then it says Dr. David Matthews, a reader of virology at Bristol University and co-author on the Vacc study, told Reuters many virus vacs are made in embryonic fetal-derived cell lines, and then the vaccine is purified away from these cells to exceptionally high standards. So they use them, but then they purify the VAC. Really? It's still being used. Okay. So that's not a conspiracy theory. Um, Okay, so most of these cells lines, including MRC-5 cells and 293 cells, were derived from tissue samples taken from fetuses aborted in the 1960s and 1970s, and the cells have been grown in laboratories all over the world since then. Okay, so they're admitting it. They're admitting it themselves. So like so you can't say that people are like crazy and they're just being conspiracy theorists, and the heading disclaims it, but then in the body, if you keep reading it, it says yes. Okay, so now Gary McLean, a professor of molecular immunology at London Metropolitan University, also told Reuters that this VAC would also be purified. Okay, so they're saying it's pure. They do it, they put it in there, but they purify it of any contaminants before being used in humans. He said the AstraZeneca vac requires the adenoviral vector to be produced in these cells, and it is then purified before administering to people. So they use it, but they purify. Okay. It is not accurate to say, oh, and this one is like priceless. It is not accurate to say MRC-5 cell lines are the same cells from an aborted fetus. They are cell lines that have been grown in the laboratory from a primary cell culture originally taken from a fetus. Is that double tongue talk or what? For MRC-5 specifically, this was done on male Caucasian fetus that was electively aborted in the 1960s. There is another cell line called WI38 that was also propagated from a fetus aborted in the 1960s. They speak with a forked tongue, okay? And if you can't see that, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Okay, anyway, it's true. This is toxic. It's bad. And you can go to this fact checker and read it yourself, and then read between the lines. And they're saying no, but then they're saying yeah, and then they're saying yeah, it's in there, but it was purified. It's still aborted babies. It's still in there. Even if you purify something, it's not completely gone. It's still in there. Okay. So then I send it to another person who is a Christian. I send it to her, and she sends me a thing, and she sends me a picture of a doctor who is getting it, and she's like, "Oh, this doctor is getting it right now." So the doctor says, "Oh, I'm a little nervous to get this," but she's sitting there with a mask on, and she's got her, she's being given the VAC, and her heading is I'm a little nervous to get this, I must say, but I got to do it if I want to remain a doctor. And so that's encouraging people to get it because the doctor is getting it. So I said, well, I texted my friend. I said, well, does she? I said, um, oh, is this your atheist friend? Because she knows she's had somebody that works at the hospital that's an atheist, and she told me, oh, this person, she's an atheist, and I pray for her and all this. And I said, oh, is that your atheist friend? Because I couldn't imagine a real Christian going through with it. And she says, no, she goes, oh, no, this isn't my atheist. No, she's a Christian and she's pro-life. I said, pro-life? I said, does she realize that this is, there's aborted fetuses in this thing? And she's like, I don't think she really realizes it. So, it's like a true Christian will not get this. I'm telling you, they will not get this. Um, and if they put aborted fetuses in and then purified it, do you still want to get it? Really? Do you still want to get a purified vac that had originally had this aborted fetuses in it? Okay. So Jesus said no. He said not to get it. He said that it's dangerous. He said that it's poison, and he's warning us because it's going to change your DNA, and you just saw that it's genetically modified in a laboratory. So you would put you don't want to eat GMO foods. You go to the store and you're just bent on non-GMO foods. You look at all the labels. You go to fresh markets and all this kinds of stuff because you don't want to eat GMO foods, and you're all particular about that. But you would put a GMO, um, genetically modified liquid, shoot it directly into your body like that. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because you're so afraid of getting a pandemic. You're so afraid, instead of trusting in Jesus, you're so afraid of it. Let me tell you, I'm going to add this to my video. Um, I Earlier this year, I can't give you the exact date, but it was before this pandemic. I actually think it was like the summer of 1990, the summer of 2019. It wasn't this year. It was the summer of 2019. And I'm going to end my video with this. In the summer of 2019, I went to a breakfast restaurant, and I was eating breakfast there. And I walked in there, and I even posted it on my Instagram because I was like, why do I walk in here as a single person every time I go to a restaurant and they look at me? Not every time, but like in this particular restaurant, and it had happened a couple of times, like they don't want to seat me at a regular table because I'm a single person, and it's like, don't use up our table space, and they don't treat you like, like they don't treat you like a customer, like they would treat a four top table or a two top table. Even if you come with one more person and you're a two top, that's, you're treated much better. But it's not for all restaurants. And I mean, for the most part, I mean, it's not like that. But I went to this restaurant, and the lady at the door, she didn't want to seat me at a table. And I didn't really want to sit at the bar. I don't always want to sit at the bar. Like, I wanted to sit at a table. And so there was and she's like, well, she's giving me excuses why she doesn't want to seat me. And it was kind of rude, and I felt really uncomfortable. And so then this other girl who was so nice, she came to my rescue, and she goes, oh, where do you want to sit at? Um, Wherever you want to sit, you can sit wherever you want, right? And she sat me at a four top, and she treated me like a queen. I mean, she treated me so well, and she wasn't hung up on seating me. So she sat me on a four top, right? And so there was another four top that was empty next to me. And so this man, he was African American, and he had brown skin. Well, he looked African American. I don't know his nationality because I don't know him personally, but he looked African American, and he was brown skinned. And he came, and he got the girl that gave me a hard time, she got him at the door, and she didn't give him a hard time. And he was real tall. I mean, this man was so tall, and she sat him right next to me, and he was gorgeous. He was gorgeous. He had a beard, and it was so sharp. It was like a beard that came like kind of in a point. It just stuck out here in front of him, and it was in a point, but it was clean, very clean. And he um he had on a tracksuit, very neatly dressed, a nice tracksuit, not like a bummy tracksuit. and it was like silky, and he had on like a little the jacket to go with it and all that. And she sat him next in the table right next to me. So he was alone at a four top, and I was alone at a four top. And I was sitting facing here, and he was on the same side as me as well. He was sitting like parallel to me. And she just looked at, and I just looked at her, and she looked at me because he leaned over. He leaned over toward my table, and he said, "What did you get to eat?" Like that, right? And I was like, and she was like attentive to me. And she just looked over at me like, she felt like weird because like this man was like being so nice to me, and he was a single and I was a single. And so I know she felt some type of way about it. Um, so he leaned over and he goes, what are you eating? And so I told him the name of what I got to eat. And I told him the name of what I got to eat. It was an omelet, right? And he said to me, does it have spinach in it? And I was like, yes, it has spinach. Like that was important to him. He's like, he wanted me to know that spinach, you need to eat spinach, right? So he goes, I said, yeah, it has spinach in it, right? So then I listened to I listened to him. He was so intriguing, so intriguing. And I listened to him place his order. He ordered the same thing as I ordered, but the thing I ordered had feta cheese in it. And he said, no feta cheese, and he didn't order like I ordered bad stuff. Like I ordered potatoes with mine, like, and he ordered grits. You know what I mean? He ordered healthy stuff. He made it all healthy. I had a cup of coffee. He didn't have a cup of coffee. He ordered everything on a healthy spin, but it had the spinach in it, right? And so I really paid attention to him. And he sat there and he just like, and he was like, I kid you not, it was like he was on display for me personally. He sat there and he was like, and he was chewing and he was looking forward, and I just looked at him, and I wanted to stare at him, but I just kept like glancing over like a little bit, like your peripheral vision so they don't see you staring at them, right? But I wanted to just sit there and go, I wanted to go sit with him really. But okay, so and it was like he was chewing. Like so I saw him in my glance over a little bit, and he was like chewing straight, looking straight forward, like he knew I was looking at him, and he was giving me a message like, you need to eat this. You need to eat this. I want you to eat this. Okay? So so well, I finished my food, and when I left, I walked over, I passed by him. I walked over to him on my way out. I had to pass by him. And I said, my name is Alice. And he says, my name is Chris. And I said, hi, Chris. I said, it's really nice to meet you. And he says, nice to meet you too. And he was so friendly and so warm. And then I walked out because it was no flirting, anything like that. It was, I can't explain the feeling. And he was a source of comfort to me. He was extremely comforting. But he was not flirtatious. He was just comforting, and he was just trying to tell me something. Okay, so so when I left, I just couldn't stop thinking about him, and I did a post in my Instagram about the incident, and his name was Chris. Well, um, Chris is uh Chris, reminds me of Christ, Jesus Christ. So and because he wouldn't eat feta, so I looked up feta, right? And I said, what is feta made? What animal does feta come from? And feta cheese could come from a goat, right? So since then I don't eat feta cheese. I won't eat feta cheese. And so because I believe that, I believe that it was symbolic, like he was telling me he's not of a goat. Do you know what I mean? Like, um Jesus has sheep and the goats, right? And he wouldn't eat that feta, and so he wouldn't eat of that goat, right? And so because but he was a sheep, he was of God's sheep, you know what I mean? He was of Jesus and not of the world of the goats. So and that's what I got from him not eating that feta. And when I looked it up, he wanted me to know the source of where he came from. And so, okay, so I got the feeling later on that it was an angel. And I got the feeling that Jesus sent his angel to tell me how to eat and to comfort me because I was alone at the restaurant. And he was alone at the restaurant to make me feel okay and comforted and not to feel awkward about that. Um, okay, so I always felt it was an angel. Okay, so now after this, all this stuff takes place because Jesus does send his angels. I've had encounters with angels before. Trust me. He's still sending his angels. It happened in the past. It happened, and with Sodom and Gomorrah, angels came and talked to Lot and knocked on his door and came in. I mean, God and Heavenly Father and Jesus are still using angels. Trust me. Okay. And so later after this pandemic things happens, um, I'm watching all this stuff this year. Um, I saw this video with this Dr. Buttar. Dr. Buttar is his name. And he did a video and he did a few videos. But I mean I don't co-sign everything he says. I don't endorse him. I'm not endorsing him, okay? But he did say because there's other things that I see about him that I don't agree with. But he did say one thing though uh, that I found interesting, and I do agree with that. And I got something from that. He said that if if a patient to him came and said that they were diagnosed with CV, he would simply tell them to take zinc, selenium, and vitamin C, and he might have said vitamin B as well, but he definitely said zinc, selenium, and vitamin C, and he said that would get rid of it. Um, and so I was like, wow, okay, so you just need these vitamins, you need this, and this. Um, and he said you don't need all that other stuff and like all this stuff. And so I said, okay. So then I said, what is in spinach? Because this man uh or I believe he was an angel that I saw in the restaurant. He was so like, is there spinach in it? You got to eat spinach. He had to have spinach, right? So, but after he said that, I eat spinach. I eat spinach like every day almost. I have spinach. I think about him still to today. I think about him all the time and what he told me. And when I go grocery shopping, I'm like, I got to get spinach. I got to get spinach. The angel told me to eat spinach. Jesus said, I got to eat spinach. So I eat spinach like almost every day. I eat spinach and I always have it in my house. So then when this Dr. Boutard said about these vitamins and minerals that you need, I looked up what's in spinach. And do you know that spinach has a high amount of zinc? Spinach has selenium in it. Spinach has vitamin B6 in it. Spinach has vitamin B9 in it. Spinach has vitamin E in it. Spinach has vitamin C in it. Spinach has vitamin K in it. Spinach has iron in it. And spinach has calcium in it. And it boosts your immune system. So everything that this Dr. Buttar said that you should have to fight a virus, um, and boost up your immune system is in spinach. And that is what the angel told me to eat. And that is what I eat almost every single day. So I just wanted to share that with you because I know it was an angel that told me that. And so, I hope you get something out of that as well. And eat your spinach, okay? Eat spinach every day. But anyway, yeah, that is what I wanted to share about this vac that has come out. It's very serious. It's very dangerous. And I'm going to end the video now. And Jesus loves you, and he wanted you to know this. So, yeah, take care. And I'll see you in my next video. I'm going to do another video. I'm going to do more videos. And so I'll see you next time. Love you. Bye.